Hello viewers, welcome to Hila-P Sports and Entertainment TV. We are back again, and this is weekend review. CBN, you're welcome to the show as always.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll be discussing
back.
Thank you, definitely. We'll be discussing about what really played out right there in the Champions League this week. It is it's drama from drama to another drama, from big teams, conceding and also losing and winning their games. Okay, we'll start with Ajax. Ajax lost to Benfica by 2-0 CBN. In that particular game, that was on Tuesday.
Yeah, it was expected. I mean, Ajax have lost all their matches. They played 5 matches in Champions League.
And we discussed about it that this if they cannot be able to stop Benfica, that means it's over.
I think it's over. I think it's been over for Ajax for a while now, because I think they are the worst team in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And it's a good one for just Mourinho to get his the full 3 points for his team, Benfica. Yes. It has not really been an easy ride for them in the Champions League. Yeah. Talking about Benfica, but getting the complete 3 points from Ajax is a good one for them, even though Ajax is like the punching bag in this Champions League. Definitely. They'll be sharing points, 3 points to everyone that comes around. That cares to have a taste. It's a good one for Benfica.
Okay, now looking at the Galatasaray, it's a surprising one. They lost at home to Union Saint-Gilles, and this particular game, can we say that the Victor Osimhen's wave is really diminishing? Because if Osimhen had been in that game, I think the match wouldn't have been this way.
Yeah, it would have been a different result if Osimhen had played.
Yeah,
but it was very poor outing for Galatasaray, because everybody expected them to get the full 3 points from that game, and somehow they lost by a long goal. And like you mentioned, Osimhen was missed.
Yeah,
he's really a very important player. Yeah. For them, and generally he has been performing very well in the Champions League. He was top scorer before this round of matches, so they're really missing him. And the earlier he comes back into that team, it's better for them, because even in their league, Fenerbahce is actually pushing. So they really need him to come back so that they can actually get back to winning ways.
Okay, now looking at Bodo Glimt, they gave Juventus the run of their money, but I don't know, Juve, they are, like we discussed. Juve carried the day, and they beat them by 3-2.
Yeah, it was a very wonderful comeback from Juventus. They were losing by 2 goals.
Yeah, 2 goals. Yes,
and they had to come back to equalize the goals and then get the win. I mean, they really need it, because
you as if you were kind of pushing them, because when you said that when you talk about Serie A, they're the face of Serie A.
Yes, they're the face of Serie A, and even they are one of the top 6 teams in the Champions League. Although they've not really been at that level they used to be, but for them to get this win, I think it helps to help their momentum, because they really need it. Because at this stage in the Champions League, you really need to give your best, and then get the 3 points, so that and see where you finish. Because I think finishing as one of the first 8 teams is not going to be possible for Juventus, but at least they are going to qualify for the next round.
Okay, now looking at after holding Chelsea at home right there in their home Karabakh, they went to Italy, and they considered they were beaten 2-0 by Napoli in that particular fixture, and the likes of we only spoke about him during the midweek review, in the person that's former Manchester United. McTominay. He was really unplayable in that particular game, because even the bicycle kick, he wanted to replicate the bicycle kick he did during the international game, and he scored in that game and took the man of the match.
Yeah, McTominay has been performing both in the league and the national team.
Definitely,
he's been very
amazing. Scott is doing well.
He's very amazing at the moment. And I think he's a blessing to Napoli, since they brought him from Manchester United. He has performed above the level he was performing for Manchester United, so it's a very good thing for them to have such a player in their fold.
Okay,
and Karabakh, normally we wouldn't have expected Karabakh to actually get anything out of that game, if not that they are somehow part of the surprise packages in who have the Champions League this season. So that's why we went during the pre-match briefing, we were like, maybe not, but at the end of the day, Napoli showed them why they are the Italian champions.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, now right there in France, No, I must say, coming from behind, and they had to beat Newcastle United 2-1. See, in that game, Newcastle started leading the game.
Yeah,
because
the Newcastle came out, and we thought they were going to go all the way.
Definitely. But
honestly, it was surprising for me to see myself come back and then get the 3 points. I mean,
looking at the former Arsenal striker and the former Arsenal backup striker,
exactly,
who has been. In fact, I'm not saying aging, because I wasn't expecting the kind of goals he scored in that game.
Yeah, it was like he was during his younger age.
Definitely.
Like, I think I think the second goal he scored was wonderful.
Aubameyang is on top of this game.
When you see such goals, and then you remember, you just think of what Aubameyang was doing in the Premier League back then for Arsenal, then later on for Chelsea. But a game like that, we would think that it was Newcastle already figured it out how to.
I think he was even talking about Chelsea. He was a bit short of himself at Chelsea. I think about Abaka, he really bang goals. He bang goals at Barcelona.
Yeah, but I think he performed more for Arsenal.
Yes, definitely. That's what I'm saying. Arsenal is where the place he really showed himself. He really showed that I am a top 9. And look at what you want. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers.
He's really doing well.
The goal, that particular goal that he played from the flank, and scored
from an impossible angle.
Very impossible.
I wasn't actually expecting.
I never expected it.
But somehow he did
the experience,
it.
And he shows who he is.
The experience is gathered over the years. I mean, he's a fantastic player.
Somebody doesn't have any option that just shout wow, because I was just watching. I was just looking at him that day. Okay, now looking at Dortmund. Dortmund had to beat Villarreal. Villarreal are also suffering, and like you said, they're also suffering in Europe, because it hasn't been an easy one for them.
It hasn't been easy.
Going to Germany and conceding 4 goals. In that particular fixture, it wasn't expected, because we thought they were at least going to get a goal. Normally, most this season Dortmund concedes goals, even though they score a lot of goals, but they still concede goals. So Villarreal going there and then being beaten by 4 goals to nothing. It's no response. I mean, it shows you the level they are at the moment. I don't think they have any chance in this year. Okay, now the big one at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea beating Barcelona by 3 goals to 3. See, man, this particular game, I for me, like what your prediction really didn't go well, this particular one, because you really gave it to Barca.
Yeah, I gave it to Barca because I mean, for the obvious reasons, everybody will
definitely give it. Yeah,
because will believe agree with me that
I agree with you. I will agree with you. I won't doubt that. I agree with you, because looking at the Barca, the kind of players, the caliber players they have, you don't have to start arguing whether they will beat Chelsea. But Chelsea took it out personally, and I mean, they had to deliver. They delivered unexpectedly.
I think after that game, I had to tell myself, okay, now Chelsea FC is not really a kind of club that you would expect.
Yes, because even okay, now you can equally say that okay, the bragging right is there, because beating PSG, it's not a fluke. You can just say okay, some maybe 1 or 2, but now Barcelona show you that these guys are. In fact, Chelsea performs whenever you write them off.
Yes, exactly. I was about to say that they are not the kind of player you can write. You should just write off.
Definitely.
Whenever you expect less from them,
they will come back and haunt you.
They will just prove you wrong. So I mean, in that game, nobody expected that the outcome.
Definitely. See, looking at Lamine Yamal prior to that game, Lamine was a kind of boastful. He was saying that the Bilbao game it's the biggest game for the week, that Chelsea is not a big game for him.
Exactly.
I was surprised that he couldn't be able to even have the particular shot. I don't think he had a shot. He recorded the shot in that game.
No, he didn't. I think Yamal should. I think his advisor should try and coordinate how he talks, how he answers questions. I think most of the time, all these interviewers want you to say things that way, but he actually boasted that, like you said, that Bilbao's game was the big game. The game next week. It's just another normal game. Which to me, I'm very sure the Chelsea players didn't take that so well. That statement did not age well. And if you look at the way Chelsea were organized,
yes,
from every department, everybody were spot on. They didn't give Barcelona any chance. I mean, And again, the Lamine Yamal Estavo comparison was there for everybody to see. I mean, the one player is, both of them are very fantastic footballers.
Definitely,
both of them are talented.
they are.
But one is arrogant and has pride in his head, and the other one is humble. And I mean, I think it gets to, I think it says a lot about how they were brought up, the upbringing that both of them had. And when you look at both of them, you see that Estavo is the one that has the better upbringing, and he's trying to be humble. He doesn't want the fame to get into his head. Lamine Yamal is the opposite of.
But how can you? Is there anything you can be able to? Any advice you can be able to give our Charlie roll out for Lamine? Is there? Because looking at him, I think he's allowing the social media, because for me, I think he should take a bit off from social media at the moment, and also control how he appears on cameras.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues outside off the field in his life at the moment. There's a lot of things that are being discussed about him, his personal life and all that, and it shouldn't be. Definitely. He's still very young, still 18 years old. I mean, we started hearing about, I think, right from when he was 17, we've been hearing about one or two, his birthday party, his girlfriend is this one, this one is this one, this one is this one, is going out with
which is your normal life.
These are normal things.
You play.
At least you can do it privately.
Definitely.
Do you understand?
Definitely.
Now that's the difference now, and I think it gets to show how much the type of advisors he's having in his life, the people surrounding him.
Yes.
And I would think one part of the reason, probably I may say this as an African or as a Nigerian, I think part of the reason could be because the parents are not together.
Definitely.
Do you understand?
Definitely.
So he was raised by his mom, even though his father has been in his life, but I think if they were together, living in the same house as parents, as husband and wife, maybe they would have brought him up better, in a better way. But I think it's affecting his game. Even if your parents are not together, he has a manager who is managing him, and then he has the parents are still there. They can still tell him the truth. I mean, try to limit the extent of the materials he's putting in the internet for people about his private life. Because if he doesn't do that, and he should be humble.
Yes,
I think that's another
he needs to
thing he should do. He should be humble, because the way it is going, when you look at the both players, I think the one that has a brighter future is Estavo, because he's humble, he's focused. I mean, if you watch what's happened in the match Chelsea Barcelona, you wouldn't disagree with me.
Definitely. Okay. Now, we pray that, or we hope he can be able to work on himself, because even he's been targeted by opposite fans. Because this particular issue is not causing him. It might cause him emotional trauma.
Of course, because he's still a small boy.
He's still a small kid.
No matter regardless of the performance he's having in the football pitch, he's still still 18 years old. And most 18 years olds are not that much developed to handle those kind of pressure or criticisms and all that. So they need to actually help him, because he needs help. He needs help to grow his career.
Pep Guardiola City had to lose at home to Leverkusen. Another difficult game in that Tuesday game, because TBN in this one game, I never expected City, because everyone was hoping that City is going to be the City they were. But in that last weekend that they lost to Newcastle United, I started giving myself a pinch that there's something might happen against Leverkusen. But I never expected that they will lose hopefully by 2 goals without even scoring a goal.
He's not scoring any goal.
Or can we say it's because he rested players?
Of course. I think it played a part.
Yes.
Or even though he cannot come out and tell us because he rested the player, that's why he lost. Yes. I mean, you were given the opportunity to field your best 11.
Yes, he went.
And you brought in your best 11. As far as I know, as far as UEFA knows, as far as everybody knows, you brought out your first 11 because you needed to win the match.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you lost by 2 goals to nothing. So, but we in the reality, he actually benched majority of his first team.
Yeah.
And he thought he was going to, of course, he would even expect him to beat Bayer Leverkusen with the second team. Yes. But unfortunately for him, it wasn't going to be. Bayer Leverkusen said no, not today.
Okay, Slavia Praha, played the goalless draw there against Athletic Bilbao. Then Pafos, played also a 2-2 draw against Monaco. Now, Copenhagen had to beat Carriot by 3 goals to 2. in that particular game. Then Olympiacos, showing everybody that yes, we are really, that's why we are the underdogs in that particular game fixture. That we need to show you that but at the end of the day, they lost that game by 4 goals.
Yeah,
thanks to
Mbappe's 4 goals. Mbappe is a wonderful player.
Definitely,
he's the one carrying Real Madrid on his head alone at the moment.
But it's a very difficult one because if he picks injury, what will happen?
It's going to be a very big problem for them.
Very big one.
If Mbappe should miss any match or pick injury and maybe stay out of the game for like 2 months, I mean, it will be very hard for Real Madrid to actually win anything.
Definitely. Even off the field, the battle between Vinicius and the manager.
Alonso. It's not helping out as well. So if Mbappe is not there, it's very hard for them to get anything positive in their games.
Okay, Sporting Lisbon had to thrash Club Brugge by 3 goals to 0 without any response at all. Then and Frankfurt lost at home to Atlanta by 3 goals to 0. CBN. I never expected this.
We nobody expected this because Atlanta hasn't been doing very well.
Definitely, they were
themselves. They haven't been doing very well as well. I mean, Liverpool beat them 5-1 the other time, but for Atlanta, who has not been coming to your place and be able to your backyard. It's a good one for Atlanta, and for our own Ademola Lookman, he scored a goal in that game.
Okay,
so it's a good one for them.
Okay, the Premier League Giants are losing at home right there to PSV by 4 goals to 1.
I think that's the biggest shock.
Oh yeah,
we know that Liverpool are very bad form right now, but it was
you said there's going to be a big shock for them because if they don't take their goals, if they don't take the opportunity,
yes, exactly,
very well, they'll be punished.
They went behind. And then they equalized, and we thought, okay, they were going to
come back,
go all the way, and then complete the comeback.
But PSV,
I mean,
I think PSV are underdog that you don't need to write off.
Even though they are the underdog, even though they are the ones leading in the Eredivisie at the moment, they are doing well in their league. But still, even they are still very far away from the level of Liverpool. But for them to beat Liverpool, what is happening? There's a lot of problems.
And at that moment, there's discussion to be able to bring in Jurgen Klopp back, for a period of time, just a little.
Okay. I think they need him. Because
he's the only person who can be able to return the
Slot has lost it.
Definitely.
Slot has lost. He has lost.
He lost confusion. He doesn't know what.
He has run out.
There's a situation
of ideas. He doesn't even know what to do next.
There's a situation whereby as a manager, you will look at yourself and say, no, I can't help it because I don't. Okay, what am I going to do? This formation. If I feel this formation, are they going to do well? If I feel this, because you are right. In fact, he has lost a touch of.
He needs to. And I think he needs to make a drastic decision now.
Just to resign.
He has to. Resigning and the resigning is the ultimate. Resigning and then let them bring in somebody. But it's difficult for all these coaches to resign.
They need to
keep telling you that they'll find the way while the team is going down. But apart from that, he needs to actually make a decision. There are some players that have not really been impressive. Like Mohamed Salah has been.
Why not take that boost step and bench?
Yes, Mohamed Salah has been way beyond. Mohamed Salah plays like as if he has lost his legs.
Yes,
he does. He's not the same
as Vigil.
The same with Vigil Van Dijk, Konate. Now I think he needs to make that changes.
And Liverpool Madrid has said that they're no longer interested in Konate
because they've seen the player they were asking to stay on.
But why
his contract so that they'll get him on free by next summer. Now
that's the player now
he's not even showing any sign that he's good enough for them.
The best for him is to commit his future.
Exactly. I think he's already having that conversation with the
definitely. He need to.
Because Real Madrid is not there. He was thinking they were going to come for him because that's what Madrid does. They will tell you to run down your contract. They'll just come and pick you for free. But at the assistants now, they've said that they don't want.
Okay. Atletico Madrid still in it on the last grabs. Beating Inter by 2 goals to 1. Inter after losing to AC Milan in the weekend. Yeah. Now coming to lose.
It was a very close encounter.
Definitely.
I think they were playing 1-1 for a long time.
9 minutes. They stole the show.
Yeah, in the dying seconds, they had to get the win. I mean, it helps them as well. Atletico Madrid, they've been on and off as in the Champions League, but I think with this performance, with these 3 points, it will help their cause this season in Champions League. The
current Premier League leaders, Arsenal, thrashing Bayern Munich by 3 goals to 1. CBN. This is a very surprising one for me because I was expecting Bayern. It was a fair counter. You go there to show yourself. You have been brutalizing, teams. This is top teams. But I'm surprised. You beat Chelsea, you beat PSG. But I was surprised coming to Arsenal. TBN, what are you saying? What are you saying? Are you saying what I'm saying?
It was surprising because we thought it was going to be a very difficult game for Arsenal. Like, even though when this game started, Bayern were showing flashes of the big team they are. But I think the resilience in Arsenal is just matchable. Like, there's no team on earth at the moment that can match that resilience.
The way they press, the way they play,
the way they play. I mean, in everywhere, in every corner, in every angle.
Yeah, but they are very strong.
They are just very strong. They have everything spot on. If you watch the game, and then that young man, Ebere Cheze, is just too much.
Yes.
The way that boy coordinates.
But you really notice him play. But the way he does,
when he's on the ball, and when there's an opportunity out there, he always creates these chances, and then it's very difficult for us to get the ball off him.
Definitely.
And then Declan Rice, very wonderful midfielder. And then Saka, I mean, they just have all these good players in every department. Yeah. And when Bayern Munich came, being Bayern Munich, of course, we expected a tough one for Arsenal, and Arsenal scored, and then they equalized, and then we thought, okay, maybe it's still going to go down the wire, and then before you know it, Arsenal blew them away.
Yeah.
And but I think one player in particular that I will pick out for criticisms from Bayern Munich now is their goalkeeper.
Okay.
I think Manuel Neuer is too old to be starting for Bayern Munich right now.
Definitely. You make
whatever, I think maybe they're still giving him that respect as a legend who he is, and that's why they keep playing him.
But the costly mistake is really costing them. It's costing them. Okay, now PSG had to beat Tottenham Hotspur, repeating what happened in the UEFA Super Cup, and now beat Tottenham by 5-3, courtesy to Vitinha. CBN.
Yeah, Vitinha
he took it upon himself to make sure he mesmerized.
He buries that game.
Just probably going one man down.
Yes, I mean, it was a very fantastic performance from him from the midfield. He scored 3 goals. I mean, it's a good one for him, and Tottenham needs to get this result behind them and then move on, because we all expected PSG to beat them anyway. So definitely. They should just find a way and move on. And
okay, thank you very much. Viewers, this will wrap up our reaction now in what played out right there in the Champions League this week. In I think it's a Tuesday, Wednesday, midweek Champions League encounter that really played out in Europe. We'll be back by next week to be able to give you the rundown of what to expect this meeting. We are midweek review, and we'll be discussing next what we'll be expecting in the Premier League this weekend. Thank you for staying with us.